LA. Straight up. Just go out to LA. The new anthem.
California
California Love Part 2. One time. To live and die in LA. West side, west side, west side. To live and die in LA, where everybody try to fatten they pocket. So many hustle for the cash, so it's hard to knock it. Everybody got their own thing, currency chasing. Worldwide through the hard times, worrying faces. Shed tears.
Yeah,
Okay.
you sitting there looking.
Oh, well,
But hello.
Thank you, Skip. I appreciate that assist. Help me. Sometimes I'm brain dead.
All right.
I'm here in the seat, and sometimes my head's not here with me. So God bless you, community family. As Skip said, hello, and welcome to this very specific hour that we spend with our community each and every Thursday at 6 o'clock. And God bless you for listening. And if you are listening and you find something valuable in this, tell a friend. Tell a friend, to tune in, because this is a conversation that's specific to the Black nation. If it don't apply to anybody else, it certainly applies to us. And we're here trying to work our own peace accord.
We're not trying. We're doing it.
That's right. I'm sorry.
We ain't trying. We doing it. And we got doers with us today, too.
That's right.
Yes,
So
indeed.
that's the right time to welcome our co-host. Thank him for being our co-host.
Well,
Thanks,
sister,
Skip.
as always, I give honor and praise to God. I'm just truly grateful to be alive.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do that day I wake up and I'm not alive and I'm dead. I don't know how I'm going to start the day or what I'm going to do with the day. I'll probably just go back to sleep.
Yeah, well, if you're
so
dead, you won't know it.
I won't know it,
so
right? That's why I say I just go back to sleep, right?
Yeah.
But I'm truly grateful to be here, and I give all honor and praise to God. Thank you,
Yes.
sister.
Yes, we're so grateful for you, Skip, because people need to know that not only the work is real, but we have real committed folks working it like you. And I just can't compliment you enough, because, as I want folks to know, this young man goes to every community where we have a problem. He goes into every one, and usually, people welcome him. Because they know we need to resolve this amongst ourselves, and not too many of us are willing to reach out across the street and greet our neighbor and become connected because of this. So Skip is a bridge builder, and from the young people looking for an exit all the way to those coming back from imprisonment, looking for a redirection or a new direction for the life that they sacrificed into lockup. So we're very grateful for anyone that's committed to this work, because it's that serious. But when you see a man like Skip, he's the one we need to clone.
All right. Thank you, man. There was something Taco said about 7-8 years ago when Facebook came out. He said that was a turtle, something that happened where the turtle had bumps on it or whatever, and everybody trying to save the turtle. And Taco has said that there are millions of people who have come together on Facebook to save the turtle, but don't know their neighbors. Don't know the people who live down the street, across the street from them. Ain't that something, where we reach out to other people in other countries all across the world, but we don't reach out to our own kind?
Well, that's the thing that changed with the nightmare. That's the thing that changed with the nightmare. The competition, assimilation dropped the dime of competition.
Oh, okay.
Dropped the dime. It's like, well, I got a chance to go through this door. I'm going through it. I don't care if you come with me or not.
Right. We got to care more about each other.
There it is.
Sister. Who was our guest last week so we could thank them? Because I can't remember. Was it Marcus? He was here with us.
Actually, I had two special guests.
All right.
On our brand new background,
yes,
courtesy of the beautiful Morris Media.
Let's give a shout out to Morris Media Studios, live.com.
Yes, right in the heart of the Crenshaw corridor, and we want to encourage you to support this network, because she's working right here in our community trying to build something.
What's her name? You said she's working. What's her name?
Felicia.
Hey, Felicia. Hi, Felicia.
Poetess.
Right, the poetess.
Morris.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And we thank her. We are so grateful that she had the motivation to do this, because, people want access, but then they don't know where to go. Right. Here she's giving you access, and then you got people that are jealous and hateful, you know, and we just have to stop that. Yeah, she's pretty too, but
so
she's
that's
smart.
Why they don't like her, right? She's pretty and she's smart.
And experienced. Okay, see, so if you can match that, then you can say something.
Right.
Okay, but if you ain't on the same level, don't bring no trash talk.
Right.
Yeah, because we want to keep this place going. We like our Crenshaw hub, and that's another reason why we're here every Thursday, because it's community business. So
community business.
Yes.
Ain't that something?
Mm-hmm. Community business. Well, let me thank our guest from last week, because that was a nice surprise. I surprised you, and Marcus.
Yes.
So you were the special guest to open Gang Talk last week.
Right.
And the beauty about it, we were the first to broadcast in the new background.
Yes, we were number one. We are number one.
Yeah, number one. Look at that. Thank you, Poetess.
Right.
That was sweet. And when I looked at it, it looked so nice. And
it looks like we're at CNN.
Yeah, that's what somebody
like
said.
We're on the 22nd floor of somewhere on Wilshire. Right?
Yeah. And last week we had 2 calls.
That's where I met Poetess, at the 22nd floor on Wilshire. You know that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that's where I met you? Okay, hey, 19, 22, 21, what's the difference? But we were up there, and when she was doing her show and broadcasting all over L.A.
Was that the Beat?
I don't know if it was the Beat or was it V100?
It was the Beat. Okay.
It was the Beat, yeah.
I chased Steve Harvey over there one day.
Right.
And the closest I could get was to shake his hand. Okay. And I was trying. I was a mugger that day. It's like, look, I'm going to get, no, you got to stand over here, not me.
Right.
No, he's out on this corner. I'm going to touch you before I leave. So it was that kind of moment for me.
You can give him that touch back now.
I didn't get nothing from him. It didn't work out.
Right.
Not, I was really trying to raise this issue. That's why I was over there. I was trying to get some attention for the violence that was going on.
Well, I know what you could touch now, sister. It's right across the street. It's some turkey chili.
Well, let me thank our callers first, too.
Yeah, we did have a caller.
We had 2 excellent phone calls last week. One from our friend Darnell.
Oh, okay.
Who has called a few times in Detroit.
No, but he wasn't in Detroit. He was somewhere else.
He's in, I checked, he's in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Uh-huh. And we're going to talk about Alabama as the show goes on. And then we had that little courageous girl.
Yes.
Faith.
My shero.
Yes, Faith, 11-year-old Faith.
And she is a domestic violence advocate at 11 years old.
Yes, she is.
She understands violence. Mm-hmm. She truly does, understands trauma.
Yes, she does.
My hat's off to her.
Yes. Well, Faith's backstory is that she watched her mother suffer domestic violence, and that's the first thing that got her attention. Then the second thing was that she was the victim of a bully.
Right.
And it's like, wait a minute. Something's wrong with this. And so she got proactive. That's what we admire about Faith. Right. She stood with her mom against the domestic violence, and then she had to stand up against the bully that thought it was a bully, thought it was her job to bully Faith, and Faith just kind of like, you got problems at home?
That is the killer part. When somebody is coming to this 11-year-old girl to bully her, and she looks at her and says, are you okay? Is there anything going on at home?
At home?
That is powerful.
Yes, it was.
That's powerful.
Yes, it was.
I'm going to try that. Next time police pull me over, I'm going to be like, are you okay? Is there problems you have at home? Why is you bothering me?
Yeah, so that was a very good show, and we were just so blessed to have those 2 phone calls. And, we promised Darnell when he comes to L.A., we're going to bring him into the studio and let him tell us everything that's going on from Detroit to Alabama.
Yes, indeed. So we're going to have to send Darnell Uber because I don't think I want him in the alley over here in the Crenshaw district. First time in L.A.
Right.
Meet me in the alley.
Yeah.
Over on Crenshaw.
Yeah.
No, don't do
that. No. We can meet him on Crenshaw.
We can meet him on Crenshaw.
By the McDonald's, or better yet, we could meet him at the...
Tell him to go sit down, have him some turkey chili or one of them sandwiches, and I'll come get you.
We walk right around the corner and pick him up from...
Brooklyn Deli and Mini Market.
Brooklyn Deli and Mini Market. Is that from Brooklyn, California?
What's funny is I didn't find out there was a Brooklyn until I got here.
Oh, is that right?
That's crazy, yeah.
So what is your name, Miss Brooklyn?
My name is Remy.
Remy?
Yes.
Remy Ma?
No, well, I don't want no trouble.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right,
there won't be no
right.
trouble. We
I don't
got
rap.
jokes, but no
Right,
trouble.
right. And I don't need no fraud. I don't need no.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. So, tell us, Miss Remy, all about the Brooklyn Deli. How'd you get here?
Well, we drove.
Okay. All right.
No, I'm just kidding. We actually flew. We came out to visit. We have family out here.
Who is we?
Me and my husband.
Okay.
We came out to visit one year. We went back to New York. It was freezing cold.
I believe you.
Freezing cold. So we said, let's try something new. Let's move to Cali. So we planned.
Cali. Everybody say that Cali. This is L.A.
That's
Go
when
ahead,
you
no.
know they're from out of
Right,
state.
right.
Yeah, exactly.
When they say Cali, it's like, oh, where you from? And the weather brought you out here, didn't it? Yeah, we know.
So, we planned a little bit, saved up a little money, and the year after that, we flew out, shipped the car, packed everything up. That was it. Came out here. We had regular jobs for a little bit.
What's
just
a
to
regular
gain
job like?
office job. I went to school for business and marketing, so I had a job in my field. My husband, he has an economics degree, so he worked at the bank for a little bit. But just something just didn't feel right.
Working for other people.
Working for other people.
Supporting their dreams.
Exactly. Working overtime, coming in on Saturday, and I'm not building anything except my paycheck.
Right.
So, we sat back a little bit and said, what could we do about this? So we planned, we researched, and finally one day we just said, that's it. Let's start our own business. What do we know how to do really well?
Y'all can eat, huh?
We know how to eat. We know how to make
I know
good
how to
sandwiches.
do that part myself.
Right. Anybody who knows how to eat knows how to cook or make a sandwich.
Oh, yeah. My mom.
Or somebody that does know
Or
how
know
to
something,
cook.
right.
Yeah.
We were taught well. My mom and my grandmother taught us really well. So, there's in New York, I don't know if you've ever been, especially in Brooklyn, there's literally a corner store on every single block. And they all sell the boar's head sandwiches. You can
That's
get your sides.
I don't eat pork, man. It sounds so
Oh,
horrible.
no.
man.
We don't eat pork either. We don't sell pork.
they don't
Oh,
sell
no.
Oh, okay.
This is called Boar's Head. That's a
But
That's
it
just
makes
a
me
brand.
think of
That's true.
It makes me think
That's
that it's
true.
like hog head cheese.
Oh, no. We
I
don't
think
have
I was
that.
like 10 or 11 when I realized it was really a hog's head in that cheese.
Yes.
Yeah, but go ahead.
We
'cause
don't
I've been to
sell
New
that.
York, but I didn't go to Brooklyn.
So I'll tell you the reason why we chose the Boar's Head is that's a Brooklyn brand. It started in Brooklyn. So we knew that's what we knew. What better to do than what you know?
Yeah.
So we said, let's do it. And we scouted LA probably for about a good 2 years. And one day we just passed by 4308 Crenshaw, and I said, pull the car over. It's for rent. It's for rent. Pull the car over. So we made the deal with the landlord, and 3 years later,
Here we are.
here we are.
All right.
Yep, the community loves us. We love them.
Yeah.
And it's like an adventure every day. We get to add new items. We get to meet new people. We get to, cater new events.
And the
Love it.
one thing we love best about it, it's a black-owned business.
Right.
That's the best part about it, is that we get to see you in an ownership, in you're responsible for this business here, instead of getting a paycheck from somebody else that's not going to invest a dime in our neighborhood. You
Right.
actually work in our community, serve our community, have your little baby at work with you, so she's learning from the crib on
Right.
up.
So that part right there where the baby learns the dream of the parents.
Yes.
As opposed to the dream of the bank.
Yes.
The dream of the office manager.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I
or
appreciate
the
that.
burger flipper at McDonald's, bless her
Right.
heart. I'm not really mad at him. And don't let me single out McDonald's, because I often ask if I get the opportunity to see a person of color's face in that window at me, I always ask them, are you in school?
Right.
And the good thing for me, the usual answer is yes.
Right.
And some of them tell me, yeah, I'm about to graduate.
Right.
And then one young lady told me, "Yeah, I'm working on my master's." It's like, go ahead, girl. So, you know, McDonald's is good for that. I will give them credit for employing black kids that are in school. Okay, even if they have African Americans that are in career employment, I find that the usual young people are in school.
So here's one of the things that I really don't like and I don't think is cool with our system, and please forgive me if I offend anybody, but what I was taught as a child is if I get good grades, I go to school, I'll be able to go to college, I'll get degrees, and then at that point I'll be able to go to work and get a good job working for someone. And for me, it is going to kill all my dreams. All my dreams are killed when I'm thinking that I need to work for some city or government.
Right.
I need to work for another corporation or at a bank or something like that, and think that I'm going to get a good job and take care of my family. One of the things I did, I worked for a company called Hussman. We built the ice cream, the sandwich cases for the markets where the milk is, all that. If you look at the cases, it says Hussman. A lot of them say that. So when I bought my first truck and was going to start my towing business, I catch my wife on the phone giggling. I come home early, and I said, "Oh, she in there talking to another man," and she just laughing and giggling. So this before cell phones. I go in there and I get the kitchen phone, put my finger on it like that. You're probably too young to know what I'm talking about.
No, I know what you're talking
So I put my finger on it like that, and I raise it and I listen, and she on the phone talking to her grandmother. And say, "That boy crazy. He gonna leave that good job and go chasing cars up and down the freeway with some old stupid truck. Girl, you need to be with somebody who's stable. That boy ain't stable." And it was worse than her cheating for me. To hear that her and her grandma was killing my dream of not working for this company and having my own and being able to support myself. So when I first got my truck and started working, one of the first phone calls I got was from her grandmother. Like, "Hey, Skip, can you go get Papa? He's stuck over in Ontario." Like, nah, you go back to Hussman. Have you had that? Have you had people who have dream killers? Energy vampires?
Oh, yeah.
How do you deal
I won't
with
mention any names.
No,
don't mention their name. Well, you can to me. I'll say it. You text me their name. I'll say, "Hey, why you tripping?" But anyway,
well, see, because we're going to have to tell on Poetess, too. We have to tell those names.
They hating on her, too.
Yeah, we're going to have to drop their names, too.
Right, and one of them is my partner that's
Send me that list, girl.
One of them is my partner that's hating on Poetess.
Huh?
I say one of the dudes hating on Poetess is my partner.
Oh, no, he's not.
Yeah, really, he ain't. Just somebody I knew from back in the days.
He can't be, because if he is, I'd have to have a word with him.
Right.
You'd have to escort me over there so I could have a word with him.
Yeah. You know who it is? The closest one to get the funder. He used to live with the funder. He got in all the movies with the funder. The comedian. Right. Yeah, back in the days when he was broke, me and him was broke together on Crenshaw on the Capri Club. But anyway, how do you deal with the I just call them haters.
You know what? There's like a balance. There's people that are going to tell you, go live your dream, go chase that. Then there's people that are going to tell you, that's kind of risky. Don't you want to do something a little bit more stable? Well, I did. And to add to what you were saying, when I was at my last job, I was probably there for about 3 years total. And 2 years into that job, one of the women that worked there, she was black. She was really close to the owner. And she used to do everything for them. I mean, down to watching their dog when they went on vacation.
Oh, that's just plain wrong. That's just wrong. Go ahead.
So one day, I guess she had heart problems. And one day she got sick. So when I came to work, everyone said, "Hey, this person is at the hospital. She was having some chest pains. She didn't really feel too well, so they rushed her to the hospital." I said, "Oh, okay. Well, is she all right?" "Well, she's going to be all right, I think." Okay, so we kind of went through the day, did a little work as normal. Then maybe 2 hours into the day, she died. The owner didn't go to her funeral. The CEO of accounting didn't go to her funeral. No head of department went to her funeral.
Wow.
Not even the owner's wife. I went to her funeral. I had only known her for probably 2 years. And a few other people from the office went to her funeral. And it was at that moment I said, you know what? I'm not sure if every single corporation is like this, but I don't want to do this anymore because they don't care about you.
I was going to make a crude joke. Did they send the dogs?
Right.
No.
I'm
Not even
sorry.
the dogs. No.
See, that's such a big deal. What you just said here, she sacrificed and gave probably the best of herself to these ungrateful people.
Yeah.
And when she died, it's like, well, bye, next.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks a lot. Okay. So, that's the kind of thing that should wake us up and see that some avenues aren't really the streets we need to be on.
Right.
You know what I just thought about, sister? And please forgive me if it's a sensitive issue to you, but I thought about Dale's funeral. And the first thing came to my mind was Dave Love.
Dave Love.
Dave Love is an LAPD officer.
Yeah.
But he's community driven.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know, when I look at the pictures, do you know who's in that picture with us? Dave Love.
Yeah.
That's what we need. We need people who understand and truly appreciate the community, to support the community. So when things of this nature happens, when there's tragedies in the community, are we supported by the same people who who we work with or in the community with? And that's so important. It really is. So,
well, to just give a head nod to Dave Love, he's on the right side of this, and I've teased him about being the interpreter. He's the interpreter between the community and LAPD. He has to come and translate for them.
Right.
He has to come and translate. That's his best job. Explain them to us, Dave.
Right.
Okay? And so as good an associate that he became, I got him in trouble with them. Not with us, with this boss.
Oh, when he took that shirt off that day?
We were at Twins March, marching down. What street was that? Was Figueroa?
Vermont. It was Vermont.
Was Vermont. Okay. And we
got the
were
picture.
way out.
I'll show you the picture before we leave.
Yeah, we were way out on Imperial, going to march down to Manchester. And we stopped at this corner, Jim Dandy Chicken Corner, and Jaime's there in the ceasefire shirt, and Dave Love saying, hey, I got my shirt on too.
He pulled his uniform back.
Superman style.
Pulled
his shirt
back
open.
to show he had on the ceasefire shirt, but he's in uniform.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
And
wow.
they didn't like that, so they made him stop talking to me.
Oh,
I can't
You're
talk to
instigator.
Dave now without them watching.
Right.
You remember because
Oh, yeah, when they cut the power off.
they cut
remember
the
that?
power off.
Oh, yeah, it was like some Illuminati type stuff.
Oh, man, it was crazy because we
Yeah.
had Big Mike Cummings from
Right.
Watts there that night and Dave Love, and was it the Christopher Dorner? I'm trying to remember the circumstances that brought them. We were supposed to discuss it with law enforcement and the community.
I can't remember either. I just know that all of a sudden the power went out in the building we were in, but not in the rest of the community.
Yeah.
wow.
15 minutes before we were supposed to go on the air.
And Dave Love said, look at them cars right there. And there was a couple of cars, tinted windows.
Looked
And,
like Metro.
In California, there are tint laws where we can't tint our front windows.
Right.
So the only people who have pitch black front windows that are tinted, of course, are law enforcement. So
Mostly Metro.
Right, mostly Metro. So the power went off, so we couldn't go on air. We couldn't have a conversation we were going to have. And Dave Love is like, man, this is by design. You guys should know that.
Wow.
So we were standing on the outside of the building, just kind of wrapping it up, shaking our heads. Hey, this looks like a big old trick. And this dark Metro-looking car came right to the corner with these two non-black officer-looking guys inside. And we just did the we see you.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, they've been coming from behind the building.
Right.
So that's when we knew.
So you have to be careful of the company you keep because we not good company. So
Yeah.
just enjoy your time here right now, but don't hang out with us. 'Cause
Well, but the one thing we do offer protection if you need it, okay? And we have no problem identifying what the problem is or what direction it's coming from. So I think that's the biggest concern is that we'll tell the truth.
yeah, so let me ask you, were you active in Brooklyn? What were you doing in Brooklyn? What were you doing in New York? You know, because there was a lot of bad stuff going on.
Oh, yeah.
Were you
But she's
changing
so
the community?
young.
I know you look 19, but you got a baby and a husband, so I'm going to figure you're 24, 25 or something.
Nope. Guess
23.
again.
But you don't
I'm
have
not
to tell
gonna
your
tell
age.
you.
But
Yeah, but what were you doing in Brooklyn to change the world? Because you're changing it now in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
But what were you doing?
I mean, I'm only 19, so
Right.
no. Well, when I was in school, when I was in college, there was a program, and through that program, we were able to, choose. Do you want to go work at the bookstore? Do you want to go, work in the cafeteria? I said no. I want to work with children, young Black children, in general. And what we would do is every week we would go to the nearest public school, and we would get to choose a class to work with. And we would tutor those students, help them with their homework. And each Saturday, we would then take those students to a nearby library, and we would spend just a few hours with them because they were disadvantaged.
Right.
Their parents, either didn't have the time or sadly didn't want to actually do those type of things with the kids. So for my 4 years of school, that's what I was able to do. Long Island University. Yep.
Wouldn't you agree that New York is a very expensive city?
I would.
The
LA
rent.
is expensive too.
But
But the difference is you get more for your money out here. So let's say, you want to rent
You're right.
a 2-bedroom apartment. Out here, you're going to get, maybe 2 bathrooms, a nice sized living room. You got your kitchen, your little dining
Y'all don't
area.
have kitchens
I
in New
know
York?
we
Oh, we got boxes.
little
you
batch boxes.
You got a little box for your room.
Yeah.
And then, you take 2 steps, there's the restroom. Then you walk down
2
this
steps.
small hallway.
Yes.
That's your kitchen.
2 steps.
Because there's
So-
too many people out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we build up.
Yes.
Right.
We don't build out.
You don't have the
We don't
out
have
to
the
build
space.
out.
Because you'll be over the ocean.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to
It's
build
so
up.
funny. I think it was, I can't remember which one of the celebrities out there had an apartment, and this is at least 15 years ago, and she sold her apartment, I think it was Anita Baker, one of them singers, for $2 million. An apartment.
Wow. Oh, yeah. In New York. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I actually had the pleasure of going to Kenneth Cole's house in New York,
wow.
Oh,
in
okay.
Manhattan, right? And it
Okay.
was an apartment.
Yes.
I mean, it was overlooking the bridge was there. I don't know what bridge it is, and the water was right behind his house. But we went inside and go to the right. So there's other people who live to the left. We go to the right, get on the elevator. The elevator guy took us right to his floor, and he owned that floor.
That floor.
And he had an upstairs.
Yeah. And
Oh, wow.
And
That's
I think
unusual.
Gina
Yeah.
Belafonte was telling me this about $30 million.
Yeah. Yes.
And I was like, man, this is ridiculous,
Wow.
man.
It's a
It looked
cost of
like-
living in New York,
Right.
and see, that's equivalent to the mansions in Brentwood, the mansions in Beverly Hills.
But see, as she said, they have
$30 million
yard, though.
place.
They
Well-
have gates and yard and...
Well, we have the land space,
have
okay?
land.
They have to build up. And depending on the area,
Right.
Manhattan is expensive
Especially.
turf.
Yeah,
Yes.
his backyard was one of them rivers or something, the bridge. I don't know what bridge it is in Manhattan, but
Wow.
Yeah. Well, it's just the difference because I really had an unpleasant argument with a lady from New York that kind of called us in LA stupid because we didn't take advantage of building up. And I shot back at her, well, we don't have to because we have the land space that New York doesn't.
right. So we're building up
so-
now. That's part
Yeah.
of city ordinance.
Oh, my God,
And, Yeah,
yes.
part of city, and they're talking about taking the liquor bank away. They just had an article
Right.
about that. They're going to take the liquor bank and
They're going to take Hubert's?
Yeah. Oh no, not Hubert's. No, not Hubert's.
Okay.
No, but I think one of the council members was saying back when Bernard Parks was still council member of District 8 that it's only going to be a couple of years before they take the liquor bank. They're going to build something at the bottom and have affordable living in that. So that's what they're doing now because we're overpopulated and a lot of homeless population.
You know what? The truth is LA is overpopulated. There's no question about that.
Right.
But for them to put an apartment building on Crenshaw, they've already given us the stupid train tracks that lead to nowhere that's a convenience for us.
It's gentrification.
It is. And you know what? They got plenty of homes in the hill. They have Leimert Park with these apartment buildings. Matter of fact, the gentrifier in my personal arena bought my friend's apartment building. That's how they gentrified the older landlord, of age where, she's elder.
Do you have lease or rent?
We lease.
Yeah.
Right. So because you guys have prime location that you're leasing as well with your business.
Yes.
And when this train is up and running, I'm just wondering, is the price going to go up? Is the price of the lease going to go up?
Yes.
Because what I see them doing, and I'm glad you got in over here.
Yes.
Because Leimert Park area is probably the last standing spot for black people here in LA.
It is. It is about it.
So I'm glad that you guys are in the area. I'm glad Felicia's in the area.
We
I
got
just
to
hope that
hold
we
on
can
to
stay.
it because
This is where we have to come together to
Yes.
make sure that they can stay.
Yes.
That's why we have to support. Tell us the business again. Brooklyn, California.
Brooklyn Deli and Mini Market.
Brooklyn
Yes.
Deli and Mini Market. And that's 4308.
Actually, yes, 4308 Crenshaw Boulevard.
That's South Crenshaw.
Right across the street from the studio.
Right across
Yes.
from Morris Media Studios.
That's right. And the best turkey chili I've ever had.
Thank you.
I will say that.
That says a lot. You coming from down south.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not. I'm from South L.A.
Oh,
My
okay.
husband
Well,
was
that's
from
down south.
Louisiana.
Well, that's down south, South LA.
Yeah.
I'm from down south, South LA.
South L.A. Yeah. South Central to be
South
specific.
Central, right.
Okay. I
They
ain't
took
got
the
a
Central
problem.
out thinking it was going to stop the violence.
Hey, please. Okay.
But
we from
just
South
to answer
Central.
your question, I'm locked in. So I know my price won't go up in 10 years. But
Okay.
a lot of people aren't.
Yeah.
And it's going to be sad that, a few years from now, I'm not going to see the same people that I'm used to seeing. So,
Do you ever go eat at Taco Bell?
oh, yeah. Taco Bell? Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I've been trying to find Taco Bell, and I know he has the truck. And I did talk to folks a few weeks ago. They said, he's catering now. He's got that truck. He's just going over events and doing this and that.
But
and
aren't
I
you
just
so
love
proud,
that.
sister?
Huh?
Aren't you proud?
Yes.
Aren't you proud of
That's
Remy
why-
and her husband?
This is why
Taco
she's here.
Bell,
We get a chance to talk
Craig,
to
the fries
black
man.
business owners.
What's the other one I didn't meet? His food so good. What they say? The slogan they had. It was the one who wasn't here. Said that oh man, something about the taste of his food.
I'm not sure,
Yeah.
and I don't want to say it wrong.
I remember that
because
slogan.
there's and as a matter of fact, let me just put that word out. I thought I passed a black-owned tire place on Western, and I'm trying to find it. Because I need tires and
I know the black-owned tire place on Century. April Atkins' sister on it. I don't know her sister's name, but it's right there on Century in San Pedro.
Okay.
And April did 28 years in prison, and I went over there to get the tire, and I said, I came just for you, because normally I don't come on this side of town at night, but I'm over here because it's your people.
Yeah.
And I'll put my life on the line for you, April.
yes,
Because I'm going to support you, your sister, and all that. So, yes, I definitely want to always support black businesses.
Yes.
So you find that place on Western, and let's give them a shout out.
Yes, I want them to find me so I can give them a shout out. So anybody know the tire place on Western, African American ownership, let me know. Right. And the place that you just said, April
Atkins' sister. It's right there, Century and San Pedro. It's one of the oldest places that don't close till 12 midnight.
Wow.
Right.
Century and San Pedro.
Century and San Pedro. That's where everybody on the east side go get their tires from.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I need 4, so I ain't playing. This ain't a one tire thing. Okay, so I'm serious business, and I'm just so happy to see my people in ownership.
Yes,
doing
indeed.
their own thing, taking that choke chain off of our neck, that invisible choke chain that says, yeah, I let you work for me, but not you. Or you work for me for a little while and then you can get going.
But see, the thing is, they got to jump through hoops. So one of the things that I appreciate, being so young, 19 years old right here, right? Yeah. that her and her husband had to jump through hoops. I know because my friend Kenny and another guy had opened up a food place, and they had inspections. They had to have the vent in a certain place. They had to have the running water for the utensils and things.
You have to pass the health
They
department
have
inspection.
to pass those inspections. Right. So for you guys to be, your commitment Your commitment to making this happen and making this work, I take my hat off. I don't wear a hat, but I take my hat off to you.
And we appreciate the community. We appreciate the support. That's all we look for, because we're here for the community.
Yes.
If the community doesn't support,
Right. So you guys have to keep the A in the window.
Oh, yeah. That's
because
hard.
if you don't get an A in the window, trust and believe, you can go on Facebook and they're going to be talking about you. And they're going to be like, hey, you know that girl Remy? She got a B. Girl, I don't know what.
And we need to quit. We need to quit that because, I know some places that got fake A's in the window.
Oh,
all right. And we don't own those
buy
businesses.
them on Alvarado, huh? You can go, the same place you can get a.
You can go to the door and see the filth. It's like, well, what are you doing with the A in the window? It's so filthy in here. And so those are the kind of places I turn around and tend to go back out. So I trust my people first. Because we have the need.
Yes.
And if you weren't serving us, your business wouldn't stay open.
Right.
And that's the bottom line. So we have to appreciate the fact that you're providing the services. We're going to come in and spend our money with you.
Yes,
okay, and then tell a friend.
Yes, I definitely will.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we're going to do that tonight. We're going to take pictures. We're going to post it on Facebook, Instagram. We're going to make sure everybody knows 4308 South Crenshaw. It's called Brooklyn Deli.
Brooklyn Deli, yes. And they have
the
finest turkey,
you did.
turkey chili in the city, okay?
Homemade.
So healthy stuff, so.
But still tastes good.
Yes, very good.
All right, so now here's something I always ask celebrities, and right now you're the celebrity. Do you have an obligation? Is there an obligation to use your influence to change the world, to do stuff for others now that you've gone through the process that you've gone through and the things that you've learned? What is your way? What is your way of giving back, and is it an obligation?
I definitely have an obligation, not only to myself and my family, but I feel, there's people watching, whether that be young kids, people my age, or even older people, because, they want to feel that they're a part of something, but that you're also making a difference. And we're all about health. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I eat a lot of fries and chicken wings and stuff.
Just don't eat no pork.
No, I don't eat
Just
pork.
fried stuff, no pork.
But, we want to encourage people to not change the way you eat, but just, slide a few healthy items in there every week. Because if you look at how you eat now, you don't want to spend that money. This is too expensive. So I'm going to go here. But when you go here, you don't know what you're eating.
No, you don't.
And you don't know what they're doing to prepare
in
what
that
you're
processed
eating.
stuff, you
Like
really
what
don't.
you mean? What they doing to prepare? Like dropping it on the floor?
I got some
or
stories.
No,
Yeah.
have you seen the chicken
Yes.
paste?
Oh no! I've seen
pink slime.
Yeah.
I won't say the name of the company, but
Everybody knows who you're talking
if you're
about.
putting
though.
ammonia into your food, I really don't think that's going to be good for you 20, 30 years from now. And, while you don't want to spend that money now, when you get older, because we all going to get older, you turn 40, 50, those medical bills are going to be so much more expensive. And you could have changed that 20 years ago. Just with the diet. It's something so simple.
Well, one of my concerns is the enormous increase of autism among our children. And I have long had a concern about everything from birth control pills to processed dry foods and things, the preservatives that they put in there that we don't know between the immunization and the synthetic drugs that we took as parents, to the processed food they put on that shelf with the preservatives in it. We don't know what's at the root cause of that. We just know that it's on an increase. There are more autistic kids now than ever. And you have to backtrack to where that changed. And now they're talking about some of the immunization.
That's what I believe it is.
Yes.
So have you seen the documentary What the Health?
Yes.
Right.
I have.
Right. So think about this. It has been a plan over the years to get us hooked on certain stuff, on certain things to eat.
Yeah.
You know, even if we go back to the slave days when the master would take that pig and cut it up into nice pieces, the rounds and the ham.
That's
and
how come
things.
you got hog head cheese.
That's why we got hog head cheese. That's why we got pig feet. That's why we got chitlins. Because we
and
weren't pigtails. So, you know, just
Pig
thinking
ears.
about the things that were supposed to be traditional to us but are so unhealthy.
Yes.
Right.
So unhealthy too.
Well, that was the scraps.
Right.
That was everything that they wasn't going to eat.
Right.
But we were allowed to have the overs. Maybe that's where overs came from. Yeah, we got
maybe
the
that's
overs.
that other name you had.
Lanyap.
That's where the lanyap came from. Because that was
Lanyap
the yap that was in the land.
Lanyap is a handout. Overs is what was left over. Okay, so, you know, there are two old Southern names. And I really want to thank Darnell for calling last week because he's in Alabama. And something extraordinary happened in Alabama this week that I don't want to let us not mention, and that's how the colored folks reared up and showed their presence in that state,
Right.
okay, to stop that pedophile from taking that very important seat that 45 just trolled to get him into. And I was just so excited to hear that the sisters did the same thing in Alabama this week that we did last November in that election. Because I don't think enough people know that 94% of African American women voted against 45.
Right.
Yes.
So I think, sister, that the system is what needs to be changed. I do appreciate the voting, but there's a system where we have an individual who, without a doubt, and I want to say that I appreciate people like the Republican guy more. And the reason I appreciate him because he will look me in my eyes and tell me straight out that he don't like me.
Yeah.
The same as Donald Trump would.
But I don't want him to have no power.
Right, I don't want him to have power either, but I like the person that tells me the truth.
Right.
As opposed to the individual who spit in their hand and say, hey, Skip,
Yeah.
shake my hand, and I'm not knowing behind the scenes they don't like me. So that's what I like about knowing who are my adversaries, who is against me, because that way it gives me a fair playing, a fighting chance. You know what I mean?
This is the thing about Charlottesville that makes it so exceptional. They did all that marching and didn't have a hood on not one of those faces. And I love that part of it. Let me see that face that used to hide behind that hood.
Right.
Let me see who you really are. Let me know where you live so I can know how to address that, either stay away or come in with a torture to myself. You see, that I agree with you, Skip, it's better for us to know.
Right. So it would have been different had it been he was running against a black or someone who was more community driven, but this was the person who won, the Democrat who won, is another Southern white man. And just, you know, and I don't want to say bad things about all white people, all Democrats, all
let's
Southerners.
just talk about Alabama. We don't have to talk about white people. Let's just talk about Alabama. See, because I noticed I was watching the news this week. I tried to avoid it because I just can't stand the look of the man, and when his mouth moves, I just know he's lying. So I don't want to waste my time listening to it. But there was an African-American woman on this panel, and she was talking about the history of Alabama. Selma.
Right.
The dogs and the fire hose.
Right.
Selma. Montgomery. The bus boycott in Montgomery. And she was talking about the history of that particular state when a moderator cut her off because he had his mind on his question and just totally dismissed the history that she was trying to bring up. When you think about the history of Alabama and how much we as a people were active in that state, that was a tremendous victory for black folks in the state. Even if it was our women that pushed it, it was a statement.
Right.
It was a statement from the black community. We're not living like it used to be. That's really what that represents. Yeah, you can bring all the pedophile mores that you want to, but we have the power to stop them. That's what they did this week. They used their power in the vote that really doesn't get us much.
Right.
You know,
that's all I was saying is a symbolism without substance.
Yeah.
I need more substance. I need more substance than, you know, just having a person in position of power. I really need the people.
You mean like Omarosa?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Okay, because she's a subject this week too.
Right.
Did they drag her out of the White
Yeah,
House?
so
Yes
they're
or
saying
no?
too, when she comes back to the community, do we accept her? But I just have to say that,
Like people said, what community?
right?
Coming back to what community?
Right. Now, you know what? I marched with Omarosa around Crenshaw High. I just want you to know that. And I also met Omarosa at Jamie Foxx's house for Trayvon Martin.
Oh, okay.
He had a gathering there, and she was there. But other than being, and he don't live in South L.A.
No.
It was a 2-hour drive. But anyway, yeah, she's not a part of the community.
No.
And she hasn't been.
No.
She hasn't had the need to. So that's why I don't put people on a pedestal because of their A-list celebrity status or because they're politicians. The people who are my heroes are the people who will go above and beyond and say, you know what, let me leave this 9-to-5 job. Let me continue my dream because I have a child and I want my children to know how to dream and to be able to accomplish things that might be out of the scope of what everybody says I can or can't do.
I was just making snide comments about her. I'm guilty of doing that. I don't care. You know, and I really don't want to slam her, but I did watch The Apprentice. Right. I did see her conduct on that show. I did see how 45 was misusing her at the time, and she was playing that game for him. And it's like, girlfriend, yeah, sold your soul. Yeah,
right.
sold your soul.
What about your boy, the one he was touching out there on Wilshire, the 19th floor, Steve Harvey? Did he sell his soul?
Oh, my God.
Look how many soul sellers they are out here. I marched with Steve Harvey when they were...
Kanye met him with green hair. It's like, oh, Lord, what are you doing?
Just think about this. Think about the people who get the opportunity to use their influence. That's why I asked you as an obligation. And to me, it's an obligation that I use my influence to help my people.
Yeah.
Not to go against them, not to hurt them. And if I'm going against my people because I have a insight, there's some intelligence in what I'm doing, then what I'm going to do is I have the obligation to explain that to my people. You know, that this is something you may not understand, but let me show you how it's going to help all of us and not just me.
Let me ask it this way. We had great respect and admiration for Jim Brown.
Yes.
With the America I Can program and how outstanding that was.
2 graduates right here, me and Felicia.
But then he go meet 45 too.
Right.
And try to act like it's all good. And I will say, I'm going to call that a generational gap. See, because when I see Kendrick Lamar and I see Common and I see Game, they bring in a different message now. And it's about their peers and the kids behind them, which is what you're doing. See, so we kind of have to let Omarosa, Jim Brown, Steve Harvey go. Right. See, because they
Ray Lewis.
Yeah, Ray Lewis too. We kind of have to let him go because they kind of left the
Jerry
reality of our struggle.
Jerry Rice.
Okay.
Charles Barkley.
Yeah, all of them. See, really, what have you done for your community when you put that up against who they are?
Right.
You know, Steve Harvey's an entertainer. That's it.
Right.
Football players, that's entertainment. That's it.
Right.
The only one that actually put something in place was Jim Brown.
Right.
You see? But I hate to say it, Jim, where are you now?
Right. So Jim is still active. He's in Cleveland. He's also in Inglewood. He's working with Helper, with Melvin, Stan Muhammad.
Okay.
And the one thing
Helper
I will say about Jim, and let me tell you that I
know
don't,
him.
Right, but I don't take up for Jim. Jim don't like me since him and Bo Taylor bumped heads, and he was like, well, if he's talking bad about me, then you probably talking too. And I said, man, I ain't talking bad about you. But anyway.
Well, if Bo had something bad to say, maybe he had it coming. I don't know because I wasn't there. But I trust that Bo Taylor was a man of worthiness.
It's 2 pit bulls bumping head, Bo Taylor and Jim Brown. But I do want to say this, that Jim Brown and the team that he went with, other than Ray Lewis, they did not come back to the community and try to validate why 45 was going to be good and give him a chance.
Right.
They went to hear him out, but they never came back like, we're going to organize and work with this guy. Yeah. Ray Lewis, on the other hand, did. He came back and was saying, oh, man, y'all got to give it a chance. Give him a shot. Yeah, I like the man and this and that. And he was promoting Donald Trump. Whereas Jim Brown and them. So in other words, like say if I wouldn't go just because my hood passed. I don't want to go visit with Trump. But if I did go visit with Trump, what I would do
You'd be in
is
handcuffs.
What I would do is I would come back to the community and say what happened and be transparent about it.
Right.
But I would not promote him. I would not say that let's give him a chance and be out here advocating for him.
You can't go in there empty-handed and come back out the room still empty-handed.
No, I need to have something for black people.
Yeah.
40 acres and Cadillac.
What you gave them was a photo op with your black face, and it's still empty hands. You walked in with the same empty hands you came back out with.
But
so what good was the meeting?
Do you think we're done like that out here? Let me ask you a question, and I know LAPD probably gonna pull me over after I say this, but do you think that the King Day Parade? So the King Day Parade? Let me tell you about it real quick. So it's gonna come right past your shop too. I want you to know that.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so listen. So you guys have been here 3 years already, 2 years. So we the ones keep it safe. I just want you to know that we the ones keep all the right. So LAPD actually pays for us to be a part of the parade,
and we had to get them in check.
Right. But do you think that it's the same thing? Because the way LAPD can go into different meetings and say that we are part of the community is because their relationship with the Southern California Ceasefire and the Watts Gang Task Force. Because of these relationships and that they pay to give us the floats, they pay to give us the spot for us to be able to be in the parade. Is it the same as the opportunity to take pictures and show the validation? Are we their gateway into the community?
Yes.
Okay. So then that makes you Jim Brown and me Steve Harvey.
Let me verify this because I was so upset I couldn't believe it, and I felt like we had made a mistake.
Right.
On our level, we had made a mistake by allowing that partnership to happen that way, but we were struggling trying to be a part of the King Parade. The King Parade historically was embarrassed and ashamed of our floats and our purpose. So as we struggled to get the entry fees, they always put us at the back of the parade. We're the last.
Police moved us to the front.
Okay, but we were the last one
behind the
before
horses.
the trash
We used to be behind the horses,
engines.
and they would poop right where we walked.
Yes. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. It ain't the Rose Parade where they got the guy with the pooper scooper. It wasn't that. No, we had to walk around that kind of stuff. But
they would put Tommy the Clown too right there, so he caused a ruckus, and then they had horses with poop, and we was just horrible. Go ahead, sister.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say that it did move us up. By them becoming our sponsor, it did move us up, and we actually originally were supposed to walk behind their process. And through the years, we never got there. And what was amazing through the years is how many people looked at our little truck and said, "Oh, I know they're not going in front of us. Right. They're not going to go in this parade
we didn't have
ahead
a
of
float.
us."
We had a truck.
We had a truck. And on the side of the truck, we had the faces of victims of violence.
We had dead people.
Yeah, we had dead people. Well, that was our message, ceasefire. Stop killing us. Stop killing us. And
we
had
to tell us to stop killing us.
There was
and we had to jump off the truck several times and
mediate, and peacemaker, right there on the spot,
and stop people from fighting and killing each other while we marching.
And then one year we had the South Bureau Police Chief ride on that truck with us, and he got to see firsthand how his officers were acting on the street level. Right. He surprised a few of them. They looked up, it's like, oh my God, there's my boss.
But Dave Love, the one we were talking about earlier, he's always there. Uniform on, it don't matter. He's holding on the ceasefire truck. Yes. He ain't with the police, he with us.
Yeah, he's with us. He's with us. But
they use us though. That was the point I want to make, is that they use us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
this is what I wanted to get at. Okay.
They really might like us, but
look, Skip, this is what I was pontificating, but it had a point.
Okay.
Last year before last, when they had the viewing stand down by Normandy. Remember, they always have the viewing stand at King. Right. This year they had the viewing stand by Normandy, by Alex Fish Market. That's where they were. They called us LAPD, Southern California Ceasefire.
Right.
Yeah. Right. LAPD took ownership of
ceasefire. So people like myself that have a criminal background history, I can't be associated with LAPD like that. Now, yes, I will have an understanding with them,
me either.
But I cannot have a relationship with LAPD because I I have street cred.
We have to be independent operators, and we cannot allow anyone to think that we're serving law enforcement. We are not doing that. We are serving the community first and most and always, because it's about us fixing what's broken in us. Law enforcement can't do that. LAPD doesn't care about doing that. That's not even their job. So we have to keep them at arm's length because they're not trustworthy. You know, they're not. Well, I'm going to bring up last year with the 4 dead kids in 3 months. See, and they haven't said a word about that, and that's why our police chief ain't going to come and sit in his chair because he knows I want to ask him about that, and they're not ready to answer that question, okay? And then we've had a change in leadership since last year as well. So we may be familiar with them, but they know that we're not in their back pocket. No.
Sister, I want to thank our guests for allowing us the opportunity to vent. Thank you for listening to being our therapist.
I had fun. Thank you for inviting me.
But actually, we kidnapped you. We closed the gate and we caught her in here. So I truly appreciate your time, your energy, and your effort. And if there is something, that one thing that you want to leave the community with, that you want to tell the young people who are looking up to you as a role model, and you truly are a role model.
Those young kids you used to work with back in New York.
Right.
Think
so
about them.
All the great things that you've done, what do you want to leave? What's the message that you want to leave people with?
Don't stop dreaming. Never stop dreaming. Because once you stop dreaming, you're dead. And you're just operating... I don't even know. I'm not sure. I don't ever want to find out. But just, dream and chase your dreams.
There was this motivational speaker who asked a group of people, have any of you ever sang in the shower? And everybody like, yeah, I sing in the shower. He said, it sounds good, doesn't it, when you're in the shower because of the acoustics and just the way the tile is set up. It sounds like there's background singers and stuff, right? He says, but has anybody ever told you, hey, don't quit your day job? Has anybody ever told you that?
Oh, wow. No.
So he says 9 times out of 10, individuals don't never quit their day job. They quit their daydream.
Yes,
they quit daydreaming.
That's true.
So truly appreciate you being here, Remy. And
thank you.
Once again, the shout out is to the Brooklyn Deli at 4308.
Close, 4308 Crenshaw Boulevard.
4308.
That Crenshaw corridor.
Yes, indeed.
Where we have black business ownership. We're so proud of you.
Thank you.
So happy that you picked this location.
Remy, can I leave you with something?
Yes.
Although you've been doing all this dreaming and it's been coming true, I want you to keep your head to the sky. All right?
You want to take us out, Skip?
I can't sing. I can't sing.
Well, Lamont would sing if he was here, but Lamont broke himself. So, Lamont, we hope you're on the mend, honey, and we missed you. Yeah. God bless you, community family. Thank you for listening. And Gang Talk will be back next week. In our beautiful